Anything what?
Sharon, if you could speak a little louder. I was sitting in the third row. It was kind of hard to hear. Sorry.
Any other feedback?
Is this a real, it's really happening in your life?
Actually,
Sorry for you.
it's two different scenarios I put together, but they are real. They just didn't happen to me.
And are you still in that state of conflict, or is it resolved?
Actually, both situations were resolved. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, so this isn't the current thing? This isn't the current thing?
No.
Oh.
So which approach did you use?
Yeah.
How was the result?
Well, let's see. The one with the two scientists, that was a real situation. They actually ended up physically separating them, putting their offices in different sections of the building, and their only contact was to be either in writing or between them and the PM. It was that bad. And then, of course, it was after this, it was easier to work with the other people because they were kind of distanced from these two guys and their animosity, which was poisoning the whole organization. And through a series of counseling, with the individuals, people eventually understood that this flow of information had to resume. They had to do their jobs. And once they did, they were able to successfully complete the project. And the other was actually my father. And it was talk about the staff meeting from hell. His first meeting, the unit was doctors, social workers, analysts, people like that. And one doctor put a knife on the other doctor.
Oh my God.
Meeting. So, what? Yeah. They had
Surgeon, right?
So that was kind of his experience. They were the bottom unit in the state of California. By the time he was done, they were #1. So.
Wow.
I like the use of the mini flip chart.
Aren't they cute?
Yeah.
Well done.
It's very simple too, isn't it? It erases some when they're reused.
Okay.
I agree with Jim that it was really a complete presentation, so this is another way of doing it rather than the way that you didn't work. Ask members of the audience or members of the group to come up with similar situations that they've been in their lives and then tell you a story about it. Right? I had this particular project, this is what happened, this is what we did, this is how it worked out. Rather than these abstract ideas, make it a story. And then the group reports as a story or stories from the experience of the members. Another way of doing it, not that it's better or worse.
If I had more time, that'd be excellent. Do the full thing.
I have in the same lines as Abdul pointed out, I was a little bit confused in the beginning. I didn't know if it was a real story. Maybe if you had given the Toastmaster a proper introduction to give, or you yourself had told us this is a fictional situation or this is a true situation. I don't know why it bothered me, but
would that
just
matter?
that clarity.
Fictional?
Sorry?
Would that matter?
So yeah.
She wanted us to think
Yeah,
it was real.
I'm glad you didn't tell us.
Yeah.
Because I actually got into it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was not clear in the beginning.
Okay.
I was
Don't
trying
give the
to
speech away in the
follow
title.
I was wondering too, and I was thinking, I bet it's fake, but she's doing a really good job.
Very convincing.
Yeah, I was worried for you.
It's not real.
Yeah, I mean, I actually like the idea of us not knowing whether it's real or not real. But I think I think most of us come from different industries. We're all trying to put it into our industry. I'm thinking like, what would we be doing in a software project? Or it could be pharmaceutical. Yeah, a little bit more detail, even if it's fake, to round it out, I think that makes it a little bit more concrete. But I like the fact that you didn't tell us whether it was real or not. It was cool.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that I thought, Sharon, you did an excellent job in the sense that you didn't tell us that, and that you made it. I mean, I'm sitting here in the audience thinking this is a real situation that you're trying to address tomorrow, Monday, in the real life here. So the fact that you didn't tell us that it was fictional, I think, really added value to it, and I think that the audience participated in greater depth with a sincerity that we were here to help you solve this problem that you had to deal with tomorrow. So I think that was a role model in my mind.
clue I had was, I think at the beginning you said something like, because I had just arrived in town, or I was new to the area, or something like that, which I knew you hadn't recently moved. So, that kind of clued it in. But then thinking that, I figured from then that it was fake, but I thought that you answered the questions really well. People obviously answered questions, you had no idea this and that and the other, but you came up with something, and you were able to say, well, you know, this is what I'd said already, so this is what I didn't know, and so on. So I think you answered those questions really convincingly.
Me?
Yeah.
I want to thank you because I think you gave us all a gift. We're working, instead of you're doing all the work, you actually got us working with people that we didn't necessarily know. And so it's a...
Because that is one of the goals of the project, yeah.
Yeah.
Do the heavy lifting like this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Could you talk about why you put the visual over there? At first, when you were talking over here, it seemed like a long walk, go back and forth. But I don't know, it was separate, and it wasn't distracting when you were talking to us at the beginning. But then you kept going back and forth.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You know, I left it over there because I for some reason I thought it would be easier for people to see over there rather than trying to look over. So that was my reason.
So I see.
Okay, so Sharon's speech, which told me is 20-30 minutes, it went 35 minutes and 5 seconds. I timed each part individually. Right here, it's individual part. So your intro speech, you said 5 to 7, that went to 11 minutes. Setup of groups, 2 to 3, that went 3:52. The group discussions went 9:56. The group reports, total that time of the group reports, all 4 groups, took 6:55. And then the last part, which is about 4 minutes, went 3:22.
Then Sharon, you had a long speech, and I found just a few things. There were a couple of cases where you kind of changed your thought. So you said there was at least, I think I lost count at 8 people, so it's 18 people. So it's either at least 18 people or say, I don't know how many there were, I lost count at 18. And then there was another one where you said these groups that the only time they talk to each other is at the point of the gun. So it's the groups that do something, or you could connect those two, connect the phrases better. And there was at least one case of the verb, because you were telling your story and you said, I think, what am I getting into? And then I thought of you. So it was, you were sort of pretending to be in the present, and then you said, I thought again. So we need to sort of stick to one or the other. And then a couple of plural, singular type dealies where there was the group that reports to him are people. So if the group was made up of people, or the group is, you know, the group is your noun, so it needs to be singular verb. And then you said, if you have any more, just holler and I'll add it to the list. So if you have any more, that's plural, so be adding them to the list as opposed to it. I really liked simmering and brewing. You had simmering and brewing, and then it'll bite you. And then I wrote it down, and I thought, oh, she's kind of mixed two metaphors. So you were simmering and brewing, maybe it would boil. Or so it could be kind of consistent. And I liked bozos you had, because you were, it was a very professional speech, and they said firing those two bozos, which actually was cute, and I liked it. And you also had some other good descriptions, like their animosity was poisoning the organization. It's very descriptive words in there. And then your last word after you told the story about your father was so. You just said, it was like this, so.